to the Horror Hangout podcast, where two bearded film fans watch the best and worst horror movies of all time and talk about them. My name is Luke Kondo with Kate, and I'm joined by my regular co-host, Mr.
Ben Errington.
I haven't got a beard. I have sort of got a beard, but I had to trim it to look professional. Well, it's for this house renting thing we're doing. Like, you have to apply, and then they interview you, and then they say, and then they go, you tick all the boxes, but you also
you've got
tickled
too
my
big
face with your beard.
Why are you so close to me? Well,
Yeah.
I thought I'd just lean in for a kiss at the end. Just cheer.
Seal the deal.
Your intro then sounded really downbeat.
Oh, sorry.
Like 73 episodes or something. You finally snapped. Welcome to the Horror Hangout.
I think my voice is a bit lower. I think my voice has gone down a notch because.
So not only have you shaved your beard, but then you've also put your voice down a notch in order to make up for the fact that you've lost a face fuzz.
No, it's to get this house. I'm professional.
I'm professional. I have a deep voice. I have no beard. Did you wear? Did you wear a boat? Did you wear a boat? A boat size?
That I don't have a beard, by the way.
Yes, I haven't had a beard now for 10 years.
Yeah. Okay, so today we're talking about Resident Evil finally. But have you...
Resident Evil finally. That's the name of the film we're talking about today. It's the last one.
It's the first one.
It's the first one. Yeah, sorry.
Resident Evil finally. What other guffs you done? What other things you found in your fridge?
I haven't really found anything in my fridge. My fridge is cupboards are bare. Creme caramel. I watched a few things. I've had a few cinema trips. So I went to see Bad Times at the El Royale. Yeah. I went to see First Man.
Yeah.
Both. Sorry, I say both. Bad Times at the El Royale I thought was good, but it kind of outstayed its welcome. So like the final third was a bit naff. First Man was like really slow, but like I really enjoyed it. It was a masterfully paced film. The First Man. Yeah. So now that what's his name? Who directed that? David.
He did Whiplash. Right?
Damien Chazelle. So he's done Whiplash and La La Land. I mean, he's knocking it out of the park, mate, isn't he?
Yeah. Was this one like a musically sort of inclined one as well?
No, not at all. It was a very human story. Not really much. The space race was obviously the backdrop for it, but it was very much about Neil Armstrong, which I guess like people don't really know that much about. Yeah. And apart from that, I did a rewatch of Shutter Island.
I like that one. That's good.
Yeah, I like Shutter Island, but it's one of those films that when you know what's going on, you start to really, really pick it apart, and you're like, "What? This is ridiculous! Oh, would that happen? Oh, would they do that?" So it was a bit.
I remember it came out at a similar time to Inception as well. So it's like this. This is what Leo does now. Dead wife stories.
He's got a dead wife, and he's having a load of bloody dream sequences and hallucinations. I mean, it is a great film. So really, it looks great, sounds great. Leo's great in it. But yeah, I think once you know the twist or what's going down, you do kind of start to pick it apart a little bit, which is a little bit frustrating. But yeah, that was it.
Was the wife this whole time.
I was the wife the whole time. Ha ha ha. He'd probably pull it off as well.
He probably could. Anything else? Any other gusts?
I've been watching The Haunting of Hill House.
So I finished it. This is the thing that's taken up like all my viewing time really, and I think I talked about how good it was last week, but I think it is kind of melodramatic, and I can see why some people wouldn't like it.
Yeah.
But for some reason, I was in the mood for a wholesome, rich family meal of a horror show, and it's like that's exactly what it is.
I'm in the mood for a wholesome, rich family meal of a horror show. Yeah.
What do you think?
I'm 4 episodes in.
Okay.
And I'm kind of a bit. I think it's got some good moments, but so far I'm a little bit. Nah. Okay. I don't know. I'm not entirely.
You should definitely at least try and watch 5 and 6. One of them is like the funeral home episode, and like it's like pretty much one continuous shot, and it feels like watching like a really good play. So it depends if you like plays.
Yeah, I've heard about episode 6 being pretty banging.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm gonna persevere. It's not something that I find. I don't like dislike it. It's just not blowing me away currently. But
I want to be blown away. Did I mention I don't have a beard?
Did I mention that I have got a beard today? Yes, thank you. But yeah, some of the bits are pretty creepy. I've seen there's been some pretty creepy moments and stuff. But yeah, I'm going to persevere. It's not the kind of show I'd usually watch, I don't think. So.
Yeah, I don't think I was even going to bother. I've also watched, actually, Netflix just put this other thing up called Haunted.
Yeah, I saw that as well. I thought, God, give it a rest. Then you feel like that Netflix, Jesus.
It is. I think this, although, so the setup is someone has had some sort of paranormal experience in their life, and they're sitting at a table talking to like a selection of family and friends, and
so it's like a documentary essentially.
Sort of, yeah. But and as they're telling the story to these friends and family, this woman has been haunting me since blah 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 blah. They sort of recreate it in sort of dramatic fashion.
With Lego.
With Lego. Lego animate Lego.
And then a bloody ghost came out here.
Someone needs to make that actually. Just put in the Lego bits. That'd be amazing.
Is that a good or a bad thing that they've released that like a week after the Haunting of Hill House?
I think people might accidentally click on it and go, "Whoops!" But it's kind of cool if you. I mean, I don't believe in spooky stuff really. I'm kind of a skeptic, but like some of the way these people talk about these things are really interesting. There's one woman who was brought up in a house and with a serial killer. They lived in upstate New York in a little cabin thing. Her dad was a genuine serial killer. He used to kill strays, so like people who were travelling. He invited them to the house, and she used to sleep upstairs whilst he killed these people. And it goes.
What are you doing down there?
Most of these stories seem to start with like some sort of domestic abuse, and then the haunting starts sort of after that. So it does make me think maybe there's a psychological thing, but it's really
obviously
interesting.
in the Haunting of Hill House, there's a lot of stuff about the psychological effects of how these things follow people throughout life. So
yeah,
it's probably got some truth to it. Yeah, but I would like to see it in Lego. I'd like to see everything done in Lego.
Yeah, Hollyoaks, the news.
Hollyoaks. See, with the news, you'd have to be bang on it because there'd be no prep time. You'd have to go, bloody hell, this has happened today. Let's quickly.
Over your fingers.
Well, has anyone got the Lego Donald Trump? Oh.
I'm borrowing him. Just throw me the hair.
For the hair.
Lands on the other one. Okay, so today we're talking about Resident Evil. We're not bad at doing this for ages. We're doing a bit of a video game thing, sort of, because I think next week we're doing Halloween, and then I guess we'll do Silent Hill after that, right?
Yeah, I guess so. We just can't get in. There's lots of stuff going on. I mean, October's pretty intense for things, really, isn't it? I've been to the cinema loads in October, and I still want to see Halloween. So,
I think I might go tomorrow, if possible.
Very nice. That'd be good. Yeah. So today we're doing Resident Evil
from 2002. Do you want to tell us a bit about it?
2002. So yeah, I will. So Resident Evil is a 2002 action horror film written and directed by Paul W.S. Anderson. Film stars Milla Jovovich.
Stand for, by the way? Will Smith.
Well, shit.
Well, shit.
Paul.
Well, shit.
Paul. Well, shit, Anderson. And it stars Milla Jovovich and Michelle Rodriguez, obviously amongst other people. The first installment in the Resident Evil film series, which is loosely based on the video game series of the same name. Okay, synopsis. A special military unit fights a powerful, out-of-control supercomputer and hundreds of scientists who have mutated into flesh-eating creatures after a laboratory accident.
Laboratory. This is like a European production, I believe, right? I don't know why I think that. I think I read it was a European production. When did you watch this? Recently, I mean.
When did I watch it?
Yeah, because I watched this 2 weeks ago now.
Yeah, I watched it a while ago. I think I watched it back in September.
Okay, cool.
So I'm hoping that. Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty spot on with this. I think. I mean, I've seen it. Yeah. I've seen it probably a fair few times.
Resident Evil now, I think of you. So I feel have you seen all of the Resident Evil movies? You've seen the animated.
Yeah. I've seen the animated one. So like, was it Damnation? And I think there's maybe 2 or 3.
I think you've played all of the games.
I've played all the games. Maybe not some of the sort of
the role-playing games?
Lesser known ones. I played like Outbreak but there are a few things on like handheld consoles and things that I didn't ever get a chance to play. Yeah. But yeah, it's my favorite game series. The film.
The expert of Resident Evil.
I don't know if I'm the expert.
You've got a Star's hat.
That's what you need, a Star's hat.
Yeah.
Well, obviously, occasional guest host Andy Conduit Turner is also
of course, a
big Resident Evil.
He did invent one of the bad guys of Resident Evil 4.
It's true. He invented which one?
I don't know.
The chainsaw guy.
Replicator.
The regenerator. Yeah. So he invented it, but he never got credited officially. Yeah. Which is a story for another day.
Yeah.
You know, but I'm still fuming about it. I don't know how Andy feels. But
I'm still fuming about the replicator thing as well.
Yeah. Yeah. So basically, like the films.
Yeah.
Like when you're growing up and you're like, God, wouldn't it be amazing if eventually we got a film of this? And most of the time it doesn't happen, does it? And then occasionally, when it does, you're like, you're like, hell yeah. I mean, yeah, because I think for me, when I was younger, it was always Resident Evil. I wanted a film of because I loved the game. Metal Gear Solid because I loved the game, and obviously that might be made into a film soon. And then Watchmen because I used to read that like all the time, religiously. So I was like, oh, I'd love to make a film of this. But yeah, so when Resident Evil film got made, I was like over the moon, super excited, and how
do you feel now?
Obviously, I enjoyed this film then. But I always felt the same, which was I enjoy it as a film, but I don't necessarily enjoy it as a Resident Evil film.
Okay.
If that makes any sense.
Yeah.
And I think this is the only one that I can tolerate. I think literally as soon as we get into the second film, it just really, really starts to go downhill. As soon as like the main character of Alice starts to have superpowers, and there's clones, and then there's all these different facilities, and the world's ended, and the worst fucking villains you could ever imagine. They've like absolutely destroyed like Albert Wesker as a character, and Alice isn't even a character from the games, so they kind of put her front and center and have all the major characters from the games who should be like a big deal are like tiny little supporting roles, side characters turn up like for a bit and then disappear. And it's just, I think it just takes what essentially is the essence of Resident Evil, puts it through a blender, makes it into a smoothie, throws half of it out the window, and just pours the other half on its head.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes so if you like pick through all the little bits, like there's bits you go,
Valentine.
Jill Valentine, a liquor. Look at this, Chris Redfield. All these little bits, but at the same time they're all mush. So like you can't. You can't stick them together. There's not really much going on.
Mush nuts. Yeah.
So yeah, and I mean these like they're so over the top, but not in an enjoyable way. And I've always found the editing in these films to be like almost unwatchable, to the point where there's like 12 cuts for something that should be like just one little cut. You're like, whoa, what the fuck is going on? Jeez, can't work out what's going on.
I've not seen the others, but the thing that annoyed me about this one was the sort of. Every now and again, like there'd be a drum and bass music video sequence where it goes, and like there's a bleached white thing where it goes like constantly flashing white.
It's a film that is of its time.
Yeah.
Even 2002, when you think about it, don't feel that long ago. But in terms of how films like this have aged, it is a long time. And I think this has got some stuff going for it. Like I think sometimes the music, not the drumming and bass stuff, but the music, not the drumming in the basin, which I think Marilyn Manson was involved in. It's been drumming in the basin. I think some of it's all right, but I just honestly think that Alice as a protagonist is one of the lamest characters. I don't want to say in cinema history because that's probably a bit. Probably. But honestly, she annoys me so much. Like every time I just look at her face, and I personally hate amnesia as like a plot device. It really gets on my tits. Oh, Jesus. I'm starting to remember something, and now I remember it all. It's just like
yeah.
I just find it a bit lazy, and this kind of like it's weird how this film has kind of worked because it kind of like takes certain elements from the games, expands on them, and the elements from these films have kind of like made it into the games the afterwards. Do you know what I mean? So they're kind of like feeding off each other in a weird way. And honestly, I think like anything, the game series really started to have a little bit of a dip, obviously around about 5, 6, I think it was because it felt like it was trying to be these films.
Not a good way to go. I mean, you pretty much hit it in the head. So I was surprised by how much I was enjoying the film. I was like, this is quite good actually. I don't know why I was so harsh on it. And then two things happened. Like the superhero qualities of Alice, like the Neo-ness. I was like, what? Why you do that? And
hate that.
And it kind of loses its way when the zombies come in. And I'm like, hang on, that's like the main Resident Evil thing. And it's when they come in that it starts to like feel really cheesy and sort of.
Well, the thing is, like, Resident Evil is cheese, and what made the first and probably the second and third games as well, like, it was cheesy, but it kind of like existed in this genuinely horrifying world where like survival was like the key. So it's almost like, oh my god, there's not enough weapons to go around. There's not enough health things, and you know the voice acting in the original games was pretty awful, but you kind of like saw past it because of the music and the atmosphere and the visuals and the storytelling. Whereas introducing someone who's essentially like hey, I'm a superhero and I'm gonna kill the zombie, like that takes it kind of takes away the survival element of it and makes it, you know, just a bit ridiculous.
Yeah.
I mean, there's plenty they could have taken from the first game that would have easily worked well in film. Obviously not all of it because it is but I mean, in terms of plot and stuff, you know, it would have been good. But at the same time, as I said, it does have some stuff going for it. I think the music's pretty good, which I think it's got some Marilyn Manson tracks in it, but I think it's also is that Marco Bellatri? I can't remember his name, but yeah. And then it ends with a Slipknot song as well. It's just mad. It's so early 2000s, isn't it?
Yeah. So as soon as the liquor comes in, I'm instantly thinking of Slipknot because that music video, whatever the song was called, it just constantly showed that liquor. My Plague. Yeah,
I mean, and it was all right. It just kind of reminds me of this.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just a bit over the top, isn't it? This film, it's a bit melodramatic, and I think the fact that a lot of it hinges on this sort of amnesia aspect to progress the plot, and there's so much. There's so much.
You said that, didn't you?
Get some of my tits. Did I say that already? Get some of my tits. And there's so much, just so much explanation of the plot. What word am I thinking of? Explanation of the plot. What word am I thinking?
Exposition.
Yeah. It's so similar to explanation. Just for guys. There's so much exposition. Do you know what I mean? There's so many times where somebody takes a moment to go, I'm going to explain all of the plot, and then someone else will do it later. And then the Red Queen, like this supercomputer thing, will explain so much. You're like, we've seen a lot of it. You don't need to keep telling us over and over again.
So the way I understand Resident Evil games to be is you go in not into like a seemingly normal place, and then you uncover the government testing facility underneath the normal place or somewhere around.
Well, that's pretty much the story of the first game. Like, you go in because. So basically, there have been some murders happening around the Arklay Mountains, and one team of like a special ops team gets sent in it, but they lose contact. So then we send in the second team, the Bravo team, and they kind of like uncover that there's this like laboratory area underneath and within this sort of huge mansion.
Yeah.
Where these things have been happening, but the plot like sort of unfolds. With all these little notes you find and certain basic things and that, and it just slowly unravels until you realise like the true horror of like the Umbrella Corporation.
See, that's what I figured. But so this film is like, this is the secret lab, and now we're going to pull back from that. It kind of seems to upturn. I think because I really enjoyed Resident Evil 4, and I kind of think one of the biggest pulls of that was like, what the hell's happening around this house? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I feel like they took away from some of the magic of Resident Evil.
Yeah, it's just like uncovering it yourself. Like, the shit's gonna hit the fan, but it's when it happens and how it happens that makes that journey with the characters easy. And also, when the first time you experience these characters is when they're already in the midst of this stuff happening.
Yeah,
it's almost like you got no point of reference for what that character is like, or
the
fact that we kind of see Alice for the first time waking up after falling and smashing her crust in the shower. Oh, bloody hell, I've had a right fucking mare. You know what I mean?
And then I don't think there's any blood. I can't remember.
Lucky head.
So let's just quickly talk about the key players. we got Milla Jovovich playing Alice. I don't really understand the term Mary Sue, but I think she is a Mary Sue potentially. She seems to be able to do everything. She last seen in Fifth Element, maybe before this. That's probably her thing. Rise to fame as Lilu.
Yeah, Lilu. Yeah, probably.
Quilu. Eric Mabius plays Matt, who's the boss from Ugly Betty.
Yeah, and in this, he's just a man.
He's not like a vegan.
He's just a man. Who is he? What's his game? Is he a police officer? Is he security?
It's a social
who is he in
this?
Warrior.
He's
yeah, but who is he in this? Who is he? Because he's just a man who's there.
Well, his name's Matt. So
well, there we go. Yeah.
Martin Cruz, I don't know who that guy is. He plays someone called Kaplan. Pasquale Aliardi, someone called JD. Not from Scrubs. Michelle Rodriguez. No. Is this the first time we saw Michelle Rodriguez? I want to say
Fast and the Furious. Fast and the Furious is 2001, I think.
Yeah, okay. So this is a good time for her, really. So she plays a badass, kick-ass female, which we sort of...
which kind of became... that's her shtick, man.
Yeah.
That's her shtick.
I was going to say, the most interesting person in this, I thought, was James Purefoy, because he looks so young. Like, he's aged. Out of all these people, he's aged...
You have aged impeccably. Years. He's aged the most, did you say?
Yeah, but like he still looks good. I think
good. Right?
He looks distinguished now. Like he's in what was he in recently? Hap and Leonard and those sort of TV shows and stuff. He suits it. It works for him. But in this, he looks very young. Like a baby.
we got Colin Salmon as well, who is like the lead. He's like the leader of the sort of special ops team. And in here it says his name is James One Shade. What's the one bit?
The number one?
Yeah, number one. James One Shade. what?
One shade. It's like one. Or like one.
James One Shade. What, that he's one shade? Like
he is black.
Yeah, but I mean, why have they got to put it so expressly in his name? Odd.
Yeah. Okay, so it opens with like a big explanation of like everyone in the hive is underground, underneath the city of Raccoon City.
How do you feel about when any film opens with like a line of text or like an explanation, apart from like Star Wars?
I feel like the 5-year-old me, 5 to 10, is fine with it, but at some point I start to realise, hang on a second, there's no mystery in this now.
Yeah. Hey, this is what Umbrella... It just says, here's the Umbrella Corp.
There was a man, Stephen.
There was a man, Stephen, and he was a bastard.
I think it's welcome in kids' films. I think in kids' films, it's got a storytelling vibe to it.
But basically, the Umbrella Corporation in all the games is like a shady organization. We don't really know what it's fully involved in. We know it's involved.
This is like the Umbrella Corporation. Let me get you started.
yeah. So it's like you don't know, like it's pharmaceuticals, but then obviously you start to find out actually it's developing these viruses that turn people into bloody monsters. Horrible. Yeah. But then you just go, the Umbrella Corporation, weapons, pharmaceuticals, genetically engineered T-virus. Get it all right now.
Mystery solved. And then, so got all these people working in this laboratory. They're all going about their day. We've got someone making some coffee, someone shredding some paper.
Someone gets absolutely destroyed by a cup of coffee as well, don't they? Yeah. Like you'd be pissed off. Someone walks into a guy and he smashes a cup of coffee all over him, and just
in Friends when that happens to Ben Stiller, and he says to Ross, "Is that hot or cold coffee?" And I was like, and he gets really angry because it was hot. I was like, "What's the difference? Like, it's still gonna stain. How is hot? If it's hot and it's hurting you, then you would already know by now. It's not that you need someone to say that's painful coffee." Oh shit!
It's like he needs that confirmation before his like nerve endings take over.
Yeah, so it's just so mad. So it plays on my mind that bit.
You can get stabbed. You can get stabbed, but it'd be fine unless someone goes, "I just stabbed you."
Cold knife or a painful knife?
Cold knife. Freezing cold, mate. It's been in the freezer.
Damn it, Ross. Yeah. Okay. So, someone's making coffee. There's some dogs. I think they're getting some treats, kibble, and and we like Resident Evil fans are already looking at the dogs and going, "Oh yeah, zombie dogs. They're gonna be zombie dogs. They're like the Dobermans or whatever." And then what we got? We got a guy who's got a virus. and he throws it on the floor. And then walks away.
That is exactly what happens. But the way you're explaining it makes it sound so stupid.
I would like to see this recreated.
He got a virus. yeah. He got a virus in his hand. It's just there.
Yes.
And he goes, blows up.
And we all know it's a T virus.
It's a T virus, yeah.
Yeah. T, anyone? Have this.
Anybody want tea? Oh yeah, over it. Well, you said you wanted it. What kind of tea? T virus.
Yeah.
So the guy throws a T virus on the floor, and obviously then we've got this supercomputer / artificial intelligence thing called the Red Queen, which monitors the whole of the hive, the whole of the laboratory, and it sees the T virus on the floor and goes, bloody hell, that's a right load of muck down there. Better start putting in some security protocol.
A Roomba drives into the room, starts hoovering up the virus.
And then the Hoover gets the virus, mutates into horrible. So basically,
Skynet.
The Red Queen just decides to kill everyone in the lab.
Yeah, there's a pretty good bit with an elevator. Kat was watching with me at that point, and we were both like, oof. See, that was at this point, I was kind of into it still. I was like,
yeah. So there's a group of scientists in one lab, and it just starts putting the sprinklers on, and like the room's completely sealed, and obviously the room just starts filling up water, bulletproof glass and that shit. And there's like pumps out like a poison gas into one area as well. People start going,
and obviously, and then into the room. Yeah.
And then it decides to kill some people in a lift. They were just trying to go from one floor to the next.
It's like actively trying to kill them. It's like, come on, stick your head out.
Yeah.
And then
so obviously it stops. Someone sticks their head out, and we all know what happens there.
Yeah. And then it cuts to the opening scroll, I think. And then we cut back to the mansion. We've got Alice waking up with a classic case of amnesia. She's in the shower, naked.
Yeah. Is she naked?
Wow. I think she's got a... You'll have to speak up because I'm wearing a towel. She's wearing a towel. And,
yeah.
She's wandering around looking at stuff.
So obviously, the gas that went into the thing also went into the mansion. But for some reason, this isn't the kind of gas that kills you. This is the kind of gas that just makes you fall asleep and have amnesia.
Yeah.
Which makes sense. So she gets dressed in like a long flowing red dress.
And booties.
Which is obviously reminiscent of Ada from Resident Evil 2, having a long red dress, which obviously wasn't the lady in the red dress wasn't very it's not the best. It's not the best thing to be wearing during a zombie apocalypse, is it?
No, you want like tracky bottoms. Tracky bottoms.
Yeah. Tracky bottoms would be absolutely wonderful. Like, if I die, I want to die in tracky bottoms. I don't want my last. All my jeans are tight.
The only thing is, pockets are terrible in tracky bottoms. Whatever's inside, crawls out.
Every time I get in the car and sit down, everything falls out of my pockets, and I never learn. Never learn.
Sellotape those pockets shut, man. Okay, so she's wandering around the mansion looking at pictures of stuff. She's like, I don't know who that person is on that picture. And then she finds Matt, who kind of this is when it starts to get a bit bonkers. So Matt grabs her, and then it's like they're sort of wrestling. And then the SWAT team arrive, and we get like the drum bass music. They come in through the windows. This is ground floor.
There's use the door.
Yeah.
The door is not locked.
I think
just
it's open
use the
at
door
that point, because they've just come in. The door's open, and then they come in every single window on each side.
Imagine you invite this group of commandos over to a party at your house. Right, guys, look, I know you're commandos and stuff, but I know I only work in admin. But I'm having a house party tonight, so come around when you want.
I'll be there.
Oh God! Not the double glazing.
Yeah. He's brought beer. So then, Captain Salmon, what's his name?
Let's just call him Captain Salmon. I like that.
Captain Salmon Rushdie is like looking at them and he's saying, "Guys, you're special agents, but you forgot." Pretty much.
Yeah. You're all special agents, but you forgot you were put in this mansion to look after shit.
Yeah. So this is an entrance to the hive.
Yeah. So then they basically go and go down to the hive. They say, look, here's a bloody train that takes you all the way down to the hive.
Oh, look, here's another character.
Look, here's another character.
This is Captain Cabinet trapped in a cabinet. That is James Purefoy's.
Do you not feel like this could have done without that Matt Addison, the police officer who's there? It could have easily lost him.
Well, I think they wanted him for a bit of drama because Alice is like betraying, or like she's like an informant or something for him, right?
Yeah, but it felt like it was his sister, but it felt like they could have just had the pretend married couple. They could have had them there, and the drama could have been between their amnesia. Maybe they love each other, maybe they don't, and then it turns out one of them's turned on the other. Like they could have easily, that would have been the drama. I feel like having the police officer in this just kind of having the police officer in this just had another man with short brown hair that I was like, who's that again?
Yeah. White privileged male comes into the scene because why not? But he's I think he's a good guy. I think we get the sense he's a good guy. So then they get on the train, they go to the entrance, and they're like, we need to get inside this server room, and then we need to shut down the Queen because she's killed everyone in the hive, and we don't know why.
She's killed everyone. She's gone absolutely ape shit.
Yeah.
And it's
She's gone.
So let's do it.
Everyone does that. That's the curly hair. And then they this is my favourite moment. It's a very Cube moment. If for fans of the Cube, they must have been riffing on Cube for this. So
this is iconic, and it also got recreated in Resident Evil 4. So obviously they went. This is a good bit. Let's do it.
Let's do that. I love that. So it's like a little corridor, and then the entrance and the exit lock, and then like laser beams shoot across the thing.
Like the worst kind of laser beams as well. Not laser beams you get like not laser
beams. Painful ones.
Not laser beams you get at a gig, because that'd be imagine laser beams like that at a gig.
Yeah, and then the drum and bass starts again.
Into the crowd.
Dry ice.
It's horrible, isn't it?
Yeah.
But yeah, so I like how this starts because a light in the distance kind of just starts going.
What I don't understand is why doesn't it just use the third? Because there's like 3 levels of this game. I guess that's it's a game adaptation. They were like, let's play on most of that, but I still think it would have just used the grid one at the end. Like,
so they got like a single laser comes across, and then it's like a one, but then it's kind of like goes up and down, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Like it's a cheating one, and then the third one is just like you're fucked. You got no chance.
Yeah, Captain Salmon does quite well for a little bit. Yeah, and then
yes. So the first one obviously cuts off a lady's head.
Yeah.
The second one, like a guy tries to jump, but then I think it like cuts off his leg or his arm or something.
It just goes up, doesn't it? I think it goes through his middle or something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And obviously Captain Salmon is getting ready to like go, whatever this laser throws at me, I'm gonna have it. But then it goes, whew, grid.
Yeah.
What are you thinking at that moment? You'd be like, oh, for fuck's sake.
I guess it wouldn't be that painful, would it? You'd be dead like within. I don't know. Maybe a little bit painful.
What are you gonna do with your body?
What's who going to do with your body?
Well, whoever, come and get your body, and it's just like a load of bits.
Scoop you up, bin bag.
Put you in a bin bag. It's the way you would have wanted to go.
Yeah.
It's
quite a cool little scene. Like I always think of like the white milk stuff that comes out of his eye. I don't know if it's actually that milky, the stuff that's inside your eye, but it is in this film, and it's
like open it.
Yeah, it's like a tasty milk, full fat. So then the door opens, and now it's going to be like, no, you can come in actually. So that everyone else who wasn't in that.
Yeah, what's that all about?
Yeah.
I know. I think the dude disables it.
Oh, okay, but it's like too late. Yeah.
Yeah, it's too late. He goes, done it.
Hey guys, I managed to.
Oh, guys, I did it! Oh shit, you're all in bits.
Yeah. So then they go in, and then they it's like an EMP, I think, right? They disable Red Queen, and she takes the visage of like a little jam-coloured girl.
Strawberry jam colour. Yeah, I think like in one of the later films, you find out she was like modelled on the daughter of the of like one of the head programmers or something.
Paul
like that.
W.S. Henderson, and
what do we say, Paul
Welsh Anderson.
Oh yeah, that's it.
Will Smith, and So what happens? Oh yeah, but the fact is that they do that, and then all of the doors open, letting out whatever's hiding inside.
So there's like containment units which have got some various beasties in it, but obviously these doors also open and they let out people who've turned into zombies because the T-virus got out when the man slammed the T-virus on the floor.
Yeah.
So a lot of people are in the lab, people in the underwater, and people who got gassed. They've all come back as zombies, and there's a big horde of shuffling zombies mucking about.
Yeah. So what we got? So we got like 3 of the fancy special ops people are in a warehouse. I feel like at this point it's like the warehouse is this is where everything's going to take place, and every now and again people can go off and do their own little side quests and whatever. But this is the main. Maybe that's by design. Maybe they're going for a Resident Evil thing.
Yeah, possibly.
So they get attacked.
You get the classic. Hey, are you okay? You're a survivor. Are you all right? And then she bit me. Why'd she bite me?
Yeah.
And then obviously, eventually you shoot her, and then eventually you have to shoot her in the head to realize, oh my god, what's going on here?
Yeah.
She see how many bullets she took.
And they've got the guy with a half head, the missing half head. That I thought was pretty cool.
That was pretty cool. Half head man.
Yeah.
Got a lot of time for him. What a legend.
That must be a callback to the first zombie in the first game, right? Is that a half zombie dude?
No, the first zombie in the first game hasn't got half a head. He eats someone and their head falls off, but then he turns around.
Maybe it's the way he turns around. I don't know. There's something that reminded me of Resident Evil.
Yeah. The cover of Resident Evil 2 was a bit like that, sort of like half head, someone poking their head through, like.
Yeah. So what happens now? So it gets a bit confusing around now because everything's kicking off. There's loads of zombies coming out of everywhere. People are getting bitten. Michelle Rodriguez is getting bitten up.
Michelle Rodriguez. Michelle Rodriguez gets bitten. A few people get separated. And it basically all kicks off. And now there's a thing called a licker, which has escaped from one of the containment units.
Has it already escaped?
Yeah, I think it escapes as soon as they turn off the thing. It's escaped from one of them, a big scary bastard. So basically, it's just like a big sort of creature that walks on the wall and has got his brain exposed and has got horrible teeth and big claws. Apparently, it's like supposed to be the next stage of T-virus.
Okay. Oh, yeah. It's directly implanting T-virus into living tissue. I mean, that's what they said.
Fun, yeah, that's what they say. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So one of the guys gets murked. He gets a door opens. James Purefoy opens it, I think. And then all the zombies pull him into this like little rave they're having. But it's like one of those things where
rave. Do a pill, mate. Do a pill. I can't. I've got to work in the morning.
Peer pressure in that one little room.
Peer pressure, and then they think,
"Come on, get eaten, will you?"
And they just eat him.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, it looks like they completely tear him to pieces. But then he's all right. He's got like a couple of bite marks.
The zombies in this feel like really shit, don't they? They don't feel scary. It's almost like, when someone pretends to be... It looks like Alan Partridge as a zombie. You know when people dress up as a zombie, like for Halloween, but put minimal effort in, as in they go, I'll just put some blood leaking out the corners of my mouth, and for some reason my eyes are leaking blood as well. I'll do that, and I'll do a bit of face paint, but then that's what they look like. They don't look particularly scary. Obviously, a few of the CGI zombies do.
Yeah.
But I also find they just don't look particularly scary.
I think also there's just so many so quickly. There's like no build-up, just all there right away.
There's 200 zombies coming at you.
Yeah. So JD gets a couple of love bites, but he's dead now. He turns up later on. Matt, I think, goes off and finds his sister. Yeah, and finds
her sat at her desk catching up on work, but she is a zombie as well.
Yeah. Did he kill her? Or did he go to kill her? And
I think maybe Alice kills. Because when Alice goes off at this point is when she sort of finds the zombie dog. She's looking for various different things, and she's regaining her memories and retracing her steps, and she's doing a bit of espionage. Things are coming back to her, like that she was going to out the Umbrella Corporation with the help from Matt's sister.
Yeah.
So basically, and then zombie dogs attack Alice, and that's when she decides to kung fu the shit.
It's fun when she does that like kung fu kick, and she's like looking at herself like, "I have the power." I'm like, fuck.
Yeah.
No.
Oh yes, now I remember. I can kick and punch.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she I think at one point there's about 12 of the dogs, but luckily they attack her one by one because she lays them all out with singular gunshots.
And anyone who's played Resi, so again, that takes away from the Resi thing of almost being powerless. The reason Resi, before Resi 4, I think, because you get a bit good at that later on. But it was difficult to aim. It was difficult. You were underpowered against the threat.
Tank controls. You had a pistol which had 15 bullets in it, and you could put 5 or 6 into a dog, but they're running around. So you're like, bang, oh I missed, bang, oh I missed. I'm wasting all my bullets on these dogs. Didn't even kill them. Start going at them with a knife. It's that sort of sense. It's that sense of helplessness which kind of added to the survival horror.
Like a superhero character into it, like a female James Bond sort of character. Instantly, I just feel like that takes away a lot.
Well, when you said she was like a female Neo, I think that's kind of the point is that
especially later on, she has actual superpowers. I think.
Yeah, it just gets on my head. Even it's just stupid, isn't it? It's just stupid.
She controls the weather. What she
controls the weather? Which is storm. I don't even remember. I remember all the films being ridiculous, and the last one I hated with a passion.
Yeah. So, might be skip a few steps here because I'm not sure, but they somehow end up. Okay. So, yeah, they're on some vents or something. They're crawling across some cable. Things on the roof. I think they're trying to get to the Red Queen's chamber again for whatever reason. Gonna put her back online, maybe. I don't know.
Maybe they want to put her back online for some reason to help them get out. I can't remember. That makes sense.
I think do we lose another guy here, or we think we lose another guy? One of the guys who gets his hand bit, or his leg's bit or something. They leave him behind with a gun.
They leave him behind, and he pops it. You think he's killed himself, but actually he hasn't.
No.
Is that right?
By the way, this podcast has got spoilers in it.
It's got spoilers through. Yeah. Even for a 16-year-old Paul Welsh.
I might put that in the intro spiel. There's spoilerific talk because I always forget to say.
Yeah, you'd hope that people wouldn't listen to a podcast which is an hour long about a horror film.
I've done it. I've listened to something and then had to take the earbuds out because
wait a minute, Alice is a superhero.
Yeah. So, at some point, they end up in the place where they drop the T-virus, but it's there's water.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? That room in Alice suddenly remembers, oh, there's a green one, like a...
Yeah.
G-virus, maybe. I don't know.
G-virus is from Resident Evil 2. That's even worse.
No, it's not that one.
This is just an antidote, I think.
A-virus.
They just go, there's an antidote. It's okay. There's an antidote. You know what's weird? Do you know what's weird about Resident Evil, though? Getting bit doesn't necessarily mean you turn.
Doesn't it? In this, they say one bite, one scratch.
Yeah, one bite, one scratch. But obviously, I suppose cinematically that makes a lot more sense. But in the games, obviously it wouldn't make sense for you to turn into a zombie after one bite. In the games, obviously you can heal and you can just be fine and stuff.
That's a good point. Yeah. One scratch, that's a bit harsh.
A bit hard. Ow!
Yeah, that's it. You're a zombie now. Get used to it.
Yeah, it'd be annoying.
You
cut your hand off immediately.
Yeah, you do. I always thought that about what's it called? 20 Days Later.
Yeah.
Selena, when she cuts that guy up.
Yeah.
Didn't she just try? Why did she cut his arm off or something? Maybe it's too fast.
No, it's too fast. The rage virus is the worst one, isn't it? That just gets you immediately.
Yeah.
The R virus, that gets you immediately. But also, she starts. Well, we're talking about a wrong film here.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we've done that one already. So Alice remembers. She's like, oh yeah, there's the antivirus. And then James Purefoy suddenly remembers that he stole the viruses because he was going to sell them, and they're on the train, and he was on his way out when they found him.
So he was the guy who had the virus who threw it on the floor. He was also the guy who walked into the scientists at the start and spilled coffee all over him. I thought that was quite a nice little touch, don't you?
Yeah.
Because obviously didn't realise that before.
Absolute bastard. Yeah.
Absolute bastard. Spilling coffee on someone. Hot, scalding hot coffee. Yeah. Magma.
Is that a brand of coffee? It was Magma, the expensive one as well.
Yeah.
So James, he betrays him. I think he said, I'm off then. if he does a Dylan Moran from Shaun of the Dead, just going to reference every other zombie film, and he's like, right, I'm off, and then he does a Dylan Moran. He gets bitten by a zombie.
Well, he gets fucked up by the liquor, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's trying to escape with the antivirus on the train, and suddenly he looks up and there's a CGI'd liquor. Like they should have kept it in the shadows.
CGI is pretty bad.
Because the CGI is like, I mean, there's like fluorescent light bulbs everywhere, so we can see every nook and cranny of this CGI'd liquor, and it does look kind of bad. It does look no better than it would
in the game, I think.
It looks no better than it would in a cutscene in the game, and in the game it looks great, obviously, but in a film, probably not.
We do see they see him get killed as like a CCTV thing, and they're watching him getting mauled by the liquor. But again, when they go to get him, he's not even in that bad condition.
He's just had a little bit of a scratch on his back. You'd think if this creature was horrible, you'd think it'd like fuck him up.
He's all wet.
The liquor is pretty much venom, though, isn't it?
Yeah, that's a good point. It's like the symbiote went on to Lord Zed from Power Rangers.
Yeah, that's a really good. Yeah, I'm on board with that. Yeah. Definitely Lord Zed. We need a new creature for the Resident Evil games. What we got? Imagine Lord Zed, but on all fours. Yes, you hit it. Oh.
Yeah. Okay, so they're making their way out now. The Lord Zed. The liquor's now turned into a hunter.
Rita Repulsa turns up.
They're like, how can we get more? They're like, how can we get more game references in this? There's a hunter now as well. So they're on their way out. They get on the train. James Purefoy trying to kill them, but they shoot him.
Yeah.
Then he's dead.
It gets a bit messy now, doesn't it? Rain, like the zombie, like turns into a zombie.
Yeah.
But there's a really stupid bit that kind of annoys me, where like she clearly looks like she's died, and then Alice thinks about shooting her, and she goes like, "I'm not dead yet," and she like goes, "Oh, I could kiss you," or something ridiculous like that. I'm like,
that's undermined by the fact that she does die like seconds later.
Yeah.
And then they use her as a button pressing device, like. Matt Addison.
It's all she's good for.
Yeah.
It's all she's good for, pressing buttons.
Matt shoots her in the head and she falls back onto the button. And this, I think, opens the pod bay doors, and the liquor has his tongue wrapped, like impaled on something, and he falls down, sets on fire.
Sets on fire, just falls down, and they go, "Is it dead yet?" And it just lights on fire, and they go, "It's dead!"
Yeah. So then they get back to the house. They just say they're out. Matt and Alice are out, but the government storm in, and then we get maybe one of the better tropes. I think they still do like the trope of someone waking up in hospital 20 days later, or like in Walking Dead. It still works as a cool thing, but this is very 26. He's got the stuff in the head. And...
Well, just beforehand, when they take Matt away and his arm has been infected by the liquor or something, they pull him away and they say, "Well, put him in the Nemesis program." And
yeah. To be fair, when that happened when I was a kid, I was like, "Oh, that's cool."
Yeah, I know, but like now you're a bit like, "Oh,
yeah,
like that's great." Like because now you know he's going to be the Nemesis in the next film. Why not just slowly revealed that actually he turned out to be the Nemesis in the next film? Great, another mystery. But they just go, "Is there a mystery in this film?" Yeah. Tell us what it is before you even just tell us it straight away.
I wish that like every time someone mentions something from a video game, another character would say, "As seen in Resident Evil 3 Nemesis." Would say,
As seen in Resident Evil 3 Nemesis. You can still buy it on Capcom's web store right now. See you later.
Yes, he's Northern. It's always the same guy. So that's it. Then so Alice, it was a very 20 years later moment. She gets out of the hospital and she's in Raccoon City, and it's like the start of Resident Evil 2, right? That's how that.
So Raccoon City's fucked up. You know, obviously the T virus somehow has taken over the entirety of the city. How long was Alice out? Because the city is pretty fudged up, isn't it? I mean, it's messed right up. She finds a shotgun in like a cop car and just. This is quite good. The pan out away from her. Mute the music. I think the main theme in this music is pretty cool. It's kind of creepy.
Yeah. Yeah, man. So that's Resi. That's Resident Evil, the film from 2002. written and directed by Paul W.S. Anderson.
He wrote it and he directed. Did he direct all of the Resident Evil films?
Who knows? Nobody knows. That's one of the mysteries they decided to not put in the film.
I think he did. I mean, I'm looking now. I'm looking now. I think he did.
Yeah.
So yeah, Resident Evil: The Final Chapter. I cannot believe that they made 6 of these.
This is the highest grossing European production. That's why that's been somewhere earlier, that thing we read about. I think it's the highest grossing European production ever.
These films seem to cost about 50-60 million to make, and they make back like about 300 million each time.
Yeah.
So there we go. The question: why did they make 6? There we go. There's the answer.
Is that the first
money making machine.
You ready for some trivia?
Yeah.
Okay, number 1. What kind of profession would land you a job as a zombie?
A job as a zombie. Is this like a joke?
No.
So like a scientist. A dog.
Sorry. So would get you cast as a zombie in a film.
What profession would get you cast as a zombie in a film?
Yeah, or a werewolf.
I don't know. What?
Dancers. Professional dancers were cast as zombies.
Oh, okay. I see what you're doing now.
Yeah. Number 2.
Zombie.
Sorry, Nan. Number 3. Zombies, Nan. Which badass horror-fighting heroine was originally set to star as Alice? Badass, horror-fighting, feminine, femme fatale, you could say, was originally set to star as the big one.
Sarah Michelle Gellar.
Yeah, it's true.
Is that true?
Yeah.
What a guess.
But she was busy fighting vampires. Number 3. Which badass zombie movie maker was set to write and direct the movie?
George Romero?
Another. Correct. Yeah. Correct, Romero.
Correct.
4. Why were the dogs such dicks to work with?
The dogs?
Yeah.
Because they ate human flesh and took a shit on the Milla Jovovich's head. I don't know.
Head. Maybe they did that as well. But they kept licking the meat off of themselves, like they were covered in meat. I thought they looked quite good actually. Effects.
Why would you put meat on them?
Because to make it look like their guts.
Yeah, I know, but meat, like dogs like meat. You could.
Dogs like anything. You could put anything on jelly. They'd eat it.
Jelly. Shit.
Jelly shit. The last one. What does the T? What does the T stand for in T-virus?
Terrible virus. I don't
The.
know. Shut up. Is that true?
I don't know. Anyway, so we need to rate the film. We need to rate the film. You go first.
See, the thing is, like, I think when I was looking at this earlier, I was thinking I do kind of enjoy this film, and like there are elements of it that I'd still kind of think about and return to, and you know, it's an adequate adaptation of the Resident Evil property. At the time, I think it was. Looking back on it, it's not really, and I kind of feel like what happened with the franchise in the end was kind of terrible, film franchise. But you know, I'd probably still give it a C+, just for the enjoyment factor, entertainment factor. I mean, plenty I don't like about it, but I watched it and I didn't find myself thinking, I don't want to watch this anymore. I kind of thought I would like to continue with it.
It
didn't make me want to watch the others.
I really wouldn't want to. So I got the very similar reasons to you, but I gave it a D because D for didn't enjoy it as much as Ben.
And what's the C for?
I don't know. It's your C. What? C again in some point in the future.
See again at some point in the future. Maybe like 5 years or something. I'll probably watch it again.
I'm looking forward to watching Silent Hill because I remember really enjoying it. I think I've seen it 3 or 4 times. I remember thinking, this is badass.
Yeah,
but will we watch it back and will it be shit? Will
Maybe.
it be dated? I don't know.
Maybe.
Who knows? Okay, man. So,
but next week we're not going to do something here. We're going to do
we'll do Halloween because it's just come out, and we'll do it for Halloween.
We'll do Halloween, and we'll release the episode on Halloween, which is, who could have thought that the planets would align in such a way? I mean, think of the preparation that went into that, like minimal.
Yeah, you just suggested it earlier today, and I said, yeah.
There we go. I mean, there we go.
This show is brought to you by Hawk and Cleaver. Head over to hawkandcleaver.com and grab a free book. If you're going to Patreon, over at patreon.com/Hawk and Cleaver. Thanks to Kovac Cowman for our theme music. Thanks to Acast for hosting the show. Thanks to the listeners. If you enjoyed the show, give us a 5-star rating and review in iTunes. And remember to hit subscribe. And thanks to my co-host Ben for being a right horror dude. Thanks,
Thank you, non-bearded Luke.
We should get Andy in for the Halloween one. Wasn't Andy in the other Halloween review we did?
Yeah, I think he was. So I think it makes sense to get Andy in. We'll shoot him a message, or maybe we'll just leave it until he hears this, and then then I'll really test him.
Then we'll know if he listens.
Then we'll know. Yeah. Oh, I'm just gonna switch off halfway through because they're babbling on again.
Yeah.
Who's to blame him?
Yeah. We love you, Andy. Okay, cool, man. I'm gonna go. That was an hour. That's pretty much about Bob on.
Bobbity Bob.
I give this episode a B. For Bob on.
Right. I give it a B+.
Nice one, dude.